It goes away for a throw-in towards the corner flag on the far side. I guess because Liverpool and Manchester United are such bitter rivals, there isn't a huge amount of players who want to make the move. But so Everton and Manchester United, Andrei Kanchelskis, Marouane Fellaini, Rooney, Phil Neville. There's a big history. Norman Whiteside before that. Yes, absolutely. There's an awful lot of players have made the trip from either Goodison as was to Old Trafford or vice versa. It really has been an engaging start. Here's Iregbunam, he's been fouled by Ahmad. Still the rain comes down, just under 10 minutes played. I'd be absolutely amazed if this ends 0-0. Manchester United, as we say, have been free scoring. It hasn't been the best of season. Only Arsenal and Manchester City have scored more goals than United this season, but they do of course tend to concede a lot, whereas Everton, perhaps even more surprising statistic, Arsenal and Manchester City, the only two teams who've kept more clean sheets than Everton this season.
I'm glad you said that, because I would have been shocked to David Moyes' team giving away too many goals.
Well, that's true, yeah. That's true. They haven't kept a clean sheet in 4, mind you.
Yeah, they're never going to score more than most, but they don't give away a lot.
No. Well, that's what happened at Old Trafford. They got the one and then defended it stoutly with 10 men. Here's Mbermo tangling with Michael Keane, who is another of the players who've played for both teams, although his Everton career is far more impressive than his stint at Manchester United. Only made 5 appearances for United. Here's Garner nodding it in field, and a slightly loose touch from Ndiaye, but he's recovered. I've enjoyed watching Ndiaye this season. I think he's a superb player.
I think he's a really good player.
He's probably the most gifted player in blue, isn't he?
Yeah. Another player I'm thinking about, John Goodman.
Yeah. Oh, you're going further back.
I've gone back a little bit,
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's some very good players as well. There are some probably slightly less well-known ones, people like Tim Howard, John O'Kane. I was looking at a list of them, actually. This is not off the top of my head.
I was about to say, I haven't looked at a list.
There are a lot, even in the just the Premier League. There's probably 25. Anyway, it's back with Senna Lamans, all in yellow tonight. He's made one rather hasty clearance, and now he's just outside his box, being harried by Barry. Ball is headed forward. That's a nice layoff, but well read by Maguire, who's been fouled.
Referee.
Well, it was Idrissa Gueye who was penalised, and Maguire has won a free kick for Manchester United.
I mean, there was no contact. He's actually gone down in his knees, took up the position as like he scored and doing a slide.
Yes.
And the referees fell for it. Must say, again, Euro there gives the ball back to the keeper. He put the keeper under pressure.
Yes.
Didn't want to go forward himself. That's why I'm a big fan of Heaven.
Yeah, and I mean, and Martinez is I like as a defender.
Yeah.
And temperamentally, he can be quite feisty, but he reads the game incredibly well, doesn't he?
But that temperamental side is all about being an Argentinian.
Yes. Well,
if you
Christian Romero is another good example. I mean, I don't think. Anyway, here's Dalot. And only just flicked away by Tarkowski, who's gone down in the box holding his head. I mean, he's not the sort of player who would fake an injury. I don't think, by the way, that we're being racist or xenophobic by saying it. I think Argentinians pride themselves, and Uruguayans, on this sort of mental win-at-all-cost toughness. It's a national trait, but not necessarily a bad one. They're very successful countries.
Oh, they are.
Won more World Cups than England, both of them.
Yeah, you've got an Argentinian on your side. You know you've got a fighter, without
absolutely.
a doubt. You've got someone you can depend on.
And Martinez is important for United, isn't he? Euro, decent player, but he doesn't bring quite the same qualities.
No.
Certainly not the leadership and the tactical nous.
Well, that's what they're missing at the back. Both of those elements they're missing at the back.
Tarkowski's still down, which is a slight worry. The physios are on. But that would probably mean, if Tarkowski doesn't, I would imagine Nathan Patterson will come on at fullback and Branthwaite would slot in at centre half. I'm not sure that's going to happen because Tarkowski is now back on his feet. I saw an article recently about how FIFA, they were considering the idea And I'm not necessarily against this, of saying if a player is injured, they have to spend a minute off the pitch. And I think that will stop a lot. Oh, you don't? You don't agree?
No. I mentioned something, by the way, and I've turned around and said, make it 3 minutes, because then it will stop the. It will help to stop the cheating.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I
but
think
a minute ain't long enough.
Well, I think it might make them think twice, though, because you're a player. If it's you're just about to face a corner, for example, and you're down to 10. I mean, it's a start, isn't it? And
yes.
I think they've got to do something about it, because it's becoming too normal now, too normalised, I should say.
Yes, honestly, I would go for, I said a minimum of 3, and that would really find out. If you've got a player who's actually taking liberties, then you're not going to want him in as a player, you're not going to want to play with him.
It is good that FIFA and presumably the Premier League as well are taking some sort of initiative over it. They are obviously aware of it. Fans don't like it, obviously. Here's Ahmad for Manchester United. And that's played forward by Cunha. It clatters off an Everton player and goes away for a throw into Manchester United, just short of 15 minutes. Michael Carrick is rocking his normal combo of black roll neck t-shirt, or black, what do they call it, crew neck t-shirt, with a sort of black jacket with the collar turned up. He wears it every game, regardless of the weather. And
he doesn't wear it, he wears one of the many, because he's one of those ones with a wardrobe, t-shirts and about half a dozen Crombies.
Crombies, that's the right name for the coat, isn't it? They were popular in the 60s, weren't they?
They were. And the City boys used to wear sometimes the old camel one, didn't they?
Yeah,
Del Boy Trotter used to have one.
Yeah. Here's Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain, finding Luke Shaw. Shaw in turn finds Casemiro. So of course it's the first time that Manchester United have visited the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Yoro gets it across to Harry Maguire. This is Maguire still deep inside the Manchester United half, just pushing and probing forward, clips it away towards Cunha. It's headed out of play by James Garner. Could be a throw into Manchester United, 20 yards from the touchline. Ahmad just teases it back to Cunha, who finds Mainu. Now it's Casemiro, and Fernandes tries to find Ahmad. Ahmad gives it away, and Dewsbury Hall picks out Njai, and back it goes to Pickford. After a fairly frantic opening 10 minutes, it's calmed down a bit, this game, hasn't it?
It has calmed down, but you're looking for key players at the moment. Fernandes can't get in the game. No. He has not added anything at the moment. The ball's too deliberate from the back. The wide players haven't got in the game for Manchester United either. No. While Everton would be very content the way things are for them. This is David Moyes' setup.
Yes.
Is to stifle the game.
Here's Mbeumo, good tackle. And Barry finds Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall with a bit of space down the inside right area, but he treads on the ball and loses out to Casemiro, who immediately finds Cunha. Fernandes is just next to him and picks up the ball now. Fernandes, who has got 6 goals and 8 assists in previous games against Everton, so although he's been quiet so far, he has had a huge influence in these fixtures down the years.
Yeah, I mean, he was poor in the last fixture against West Ham.
Yeah.
Very, very poor.
Yeah. I mean, United, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, United weren't very good against West Ham, but they did show qualities of sticking with it, and it was a very good goal by Šeško.
It was a great finish.
Yeah,
he was the wrong side of the near post and got his left foot around it to flick it on the inside.
Here's Ahmad for Manchester United, square to Bruno Fernandes, tries to find Mainu. Everton intercept. Here's Tieno Barry, and skipping down the line is Armstrong, but he's lost it. Dalot pushes it forward to Mbeumo. Mbeumo hugging the touchline on the near side. Neat play by United. Dalot infield to Casemiro, who's of course leaving Manchester United in the summer. This is Maguire, just coming as far forward as he has so far this evening, finding Shaw. Now it's Mainu in centre midfield, a player reborn under Michael Carrick. Talk of him leaving the club as recently as the start of the year. Here's Fernandes. No talk of him leaving, I don't think. He's shut down rumours that he might be on his way. And here he is now, just nudging it back to Casemiro. United almost at walking pace at the moment in centre midfield, but it's almost a good ball by Fernandes to release Shaw, and it didn't happen, but Shaw does have it now.
Both sides are cancelling themselves.
With a catalogue of errors. Casemiro, now Shaw into the box, or across the box rather, towards Dalot. Now it's Mbeumo. Mbeumo rolls it in, that's a good ball. Fernandes plays a 1-2. Fernandes turns brilliantly and plays it towards the backstick. It's cleared and the shot is in from Shaw and it's blocked by Dewsbury Hall, and Everton might counter here, but Euro's got there in front of Barry, and back it goes to Senna Lamons and the United fans who've made the short trip down the M62, used to be called the East Lancs Road, to Merseyside, are beginning to find their voice.
The game's a little bit intricate, but it's more about the end product. Hasn't been that good, to be honest. Fernandes' ball into the box, and that little passes he made to get to the edge of the 6 yards was a poor pass in the end. And what does he do? He puts his arm up and blames the player. No.
I think Barry has been penalised, though I tend to agree with you. Yoro's gone down now, holding his head. And he's up again quickly. Just looking at it again, he's bumped him, hasn't he?
Bumped him, yeah. But still, I mean, but we know why he's doing it, but he hasn't gone anywhere near his head, has he?
No, but I think it is a foul. Yeah. His body checked him.
I mean, what he should have done, really, if anything, just plant his feet. Yeah. And you can't do it. If someone runs into you, then the foul's on them.
Yeah. 20 minutes gone, 0-0 at the Hildesheim Stadium, which is noisy, as you'd expect. Here's Ahmad. Oh, that's a poor ball. And Everton have got it now with Dewsbury Hall, who's pushed it back towards Ireg Burnham. Now it's Keane and Tarkowski, who's shaken off that injury he had a few minutes ago. Branthwaite now picks it up. We were led to believe earlier in the week, or over the weekend, that Branthwaite was not going to play, but he's obviously recovered very, very quickly. Now there's a foul on Tierno Barry in centre midfield. Barry's got 4 goals in his last 9 games, having made a very slow start, 1 in 20, but he's won a free kick here in centre midfield for Everton, who are looking to do the double over Manchester United, something they haven't achieved for quite a while.
I don't know, now he wants someone to come on the pitch now, and all he's done in theory is just slip.
Well, Beto is taking his tracksuit top off, so that suggests that Barry's injury might be more serious than it looked. It didn't look anything particularly...
no, this is weird to me. This
particularly bad, but he's got 2 physios crouching over him at the moment. Just looking at it again here, Paul, I mean, he just collides with Mainu. I can't really, and he falls to the ground on his front.
His feet are off the floor, so I don't know how he's managed to get...
I don't quite see what he's done to himself, to be perfectly honest.
Is it an elbow?
Unless maybe his ribs or something.
I don't know.
Or an arm. Yeah, maybe he fell awkwardly. It might be. I think it might be his left arm. I'm not sure. He looks a bit groggy, I must say, but he's on his feet now, and he's had to come off. But he's running freely now. I don't know. I mean, there was nothing in the way that he fell that doesn't happen to every footballer 50 times every game.
Exactly right, exactly. He hasn't done his team any favours. They got the ball high up the pitch, and
now he's off the pitch.
Yeah, main striker's off the pitch.
Oh, hang on, he's taking his shirt off now. Well, he might have a shoulder problem, I don't know. At the moment, Everton have 10 men, but they do have a free kick midway inside the Manchester United half. James Garner is pretty good as a deliverer, or can be, with his right foot of these sort of situations. There are 6 blue shirts for him to aim at as he clips it into the Manchester United box towards Michael Keane, who heads it down, and it's just jabbed away out of harm's way by Mainu. And in fact, it took a flick off an Everton player.
He's actually got a shoulder strap on, so I think maybe a quick movement, he might have just slightly jarred it and quick.
Yes, he's taken his shirt off, and there's some sort of medical support thing. Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
I had the 1980 version, one of them, by the way. It didn't look as good as that. No, trust me.
No, it wasn't as high tech. What was it? Like sort of piece of string or something?
Something like that. Yeah, and there was a reef knot in it. But so he's got a shoulder problem. So any quick movement is a jar.
Yeah,
he's going to struggle.
Well, he's back on, and he's going to soldier on. But Beto was warming up for a spell. Here's James Garner with the Everton throw. And a first touch for Barry, but not a particularly good one. Dewsbury Hall back to Garner, cleared by Maguire. Hoisted up towards Mbermo. Tarkowski with a good back header that finds Keane. Keane on the half volley scoops it forward. It's away by Maguire, nicely controlled by Cunha. And now it's Dalot. And back it goes to Yoro. Yoro thinks about a pass back and then thinks better of it and finds Dalot instead, who gets it back to Yoro. Yoro forward, ball goes out of play. It's become a bit scrappy, the game, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, United have lost an edge there with Martinez not playing at the back, because a lot of the stuff come through him, and a lot of it bounced off the back of Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo, and that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
So the way they build, they've lost that bit. The ball's not getting wide quick enough. They can't get the wide players in, and that's down to Everton, the way they play. They're the great suffocators of
Keane
football.
with a terrific ball across. It was a difficult one for Ndiaye to control, and he couldn't quite do that. It went out for a goal kick. That's a fantastic ball by Michael Keane. I mean, if Ndiaye had controlled that and got inside Shaw, he'd have been in on goal. Well, he was unlucky, actually, because it hit his other foot. I think he controlled it with his right, and then it hit his left and went out.
Yeah, he was the way he was going to accept that ball. He was going to go on the inside.
Yes, yeah.
Because Shaw is overrun.
Ooh, that's another poor clearance by United. I mean, it's been an error-strewn game from both sides, hasn't it, really? They've both given the ball away far too much. Here Everton with Ndiaye, good skill and good strength. It's Iliman Ndiaye. He's gone down, no foul. Casemiro plays it forward, but again he's given it away. It's not been a very good Manchester United performance at all so far.
Well, I think
Everton haven't been that much better.
No, Everton,
I mean, a litany of errors so far.
They haven't capitalised on it at all, Everton. The bad start from United, they haven't really jumped onto it. They've had their moments, but we can see already they're a side that struggles to make goals because of the fact of they're not very good in that area. They haven't got an out-and-out play. Ndiaye is the only player they've got.
He can take a man on and create a gap. Here's Casemiro finding Mainoo, back to Casemiro again. Once again we're at Manchester United walking pace inside the Everton half. Maguire has it. Fernandes finds Casemiro. Casemiro turns into trouble almost, but Bruno Fernandes picks up the baton and rolls it forward to Mainoo. Casemiro again, and now Shaw. It comes out to Ahmad, who's swapped flanks with Cunha for the time being. He's over on the left. This is Maguire finding Dalot. Dalot trying to work his way through, but Everton have won it back. Barry finds Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall, poor ball, intercepted by Yoro. Yoro gives it away. I mean, literally, these two teams are just passing it backs and forwards to each other at the moment, aren't they? I mean, it goes red shirt, blue shirt, red shirt, blue shirt, red shirt, blue shirt. Nobody seems to be able to string more than two passes together.
Nothing's happening in the attacking first for either side as well. So neither of them been good enough.
Not yet, no.
What they're doing.
28 minutes gone. A point would take Manchester United into fourth place above Chelsea, who were held at the weekend. Aston Villa also dropping points again. I don't think United were going to be able to trouble the top two, but they could finish third, which would be a very good finish. Here's Ahmad, nicely done, skips away from his marker and finds Bruno Fernandes inside the Everton half. Just looking around him, there's not a huge amount of movement. Casemiro arrives. Now it's Mainoo, and again Everton hunting packs to win the ball back, but it's loose and it's a scramble, and it's pushed forward by Idrissa Gueye. And again Everton lose the ball. Here's Casemiro. Now Bruno Fernandes turns neatly lays it off to Casemiro. Casemiro might shoot, tries to find Cunha, can't do so, it's intercepted. It's a really messy, scruffy game at the moment. This is Harrison Armstrong, tall, rangy midfield player, finds the ball back at his feet, and Barry has it on the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot, square ball towards Idrissa Gueye. A clever back heel by Dewsbury always doesn't come off, and Matheus Cunha will bring it forward for Manchester United. Fernandes, midway inside his own half, finds Kobbie Mainoo, and now Casemiro. The noise is persistent and insistent inside this ground. We've had 29 minutes, not a huge amount of goal-mouth action of any description at either end yet.
No, there isn't, and Everton fans have looked forward to this game, and they really are having a go. The fans, Manchester United look like a side that hasn't played for 13 days.
Yeah. Here's Ahmad. He's got past his man, he's been pulled back by Branthwaite. That should be a booking, I would say.
Oh, oh no!
I think he's going to let it go.
Wow!
He's grabbed a big chunk of his shirt, didn't he? And he would have got past him.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot believe it. Not that I'm advocating for someone to be booked so early, because the game's been good.
Yeah,
but that has to be. He has to deal with that, doesn't he?
I think Fernandes is making the point. I mean, you book a player because a player has made a completely deliberate attempt to prevent him from getting into a goal-scoring position. Not a goal-scoring position, but it created a forward position. I mean, Ahmad would have been free down the right-hand side with Branthwaite on his backside.
Yeah, to the opportunity to create an opportunity. Yes. So that, I mean, be interesting in the next one. Yeah, cynical. Yeah. We see the next one. There's every chance that it's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, well, he could be punished from the free kick because Bruno Fernandes has the ball at his feet. It's wide on the right-hand side, level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Fernandes, of course, is a master at creating chaos from these sort of situations. And he's going to chip it in right-footed. It's not a very good delivery, actually. But Dalot hits it. Oh, my goodness me. That was travelling, but it was travelling past Jordan Pickford's left-hand post. Worth a hit from Dalot. It was a good strike, actually. It wasn't just swerved away, but he caught it pretty well on the volley, 25 yards out. And that's just about the nearest we've come to a goal.
No, it's a fact. I think it is the nearest, isn't it?
Well, possibly the one right at the beginning where the shot was scrambled off the line.
He's just done it. Harry Maguire is falling to the floor like a bit part actor from EastEnders. It's absolutely terrible, and he's got away. going on because the way he plays, and obviously I think it's personal, is Tyler Dibbling.
Yeah.
I think there's an issue there about his attitude, if I remember rightly, because when he played for Southampton...
He was brilliant, wasn't he, last season? I mean, he was the best thing about Southampton last season. There wasn't many great things about them, but he was terrific. And he is on the bench today, as he normally is.
And that was like about...
£35 million.
Wow, that's a lot of money for Everton to sit on the bench.
Yeah. You're right, though. I mean, Moyes doesn't seem to rate him. He certainly doesn't. He hardly ever picks him.
You have to remember, though, David Moyes is not keen really sometimes on players like that.
Yeah,
it took him a while to play Jared Bowen, by the way.
Yeah.
He never plays straight away.
Here's Eric Burnham, decent ball, but just too long. Nicely dealt with by Dalot, who finds Casemiro. Now it's Fernandes. Casemiro again. He's been bumped over by Eric Burnham on halfway. It'll be a Manchester United throw. We have just over 10 minutes to go to half-time in a game which certainly in the first 10 minutes looked like it might end up 5-4 or something like that, but it's levelled out since then and become scrappy and error-strewn. Not a huge amount of quality, it has to be said, from either side.
It's been very poor from both sides at the moment.
Here's Mainu on halfway for Manchester United. There's a sprint down the left-hand side, which has been ignored. Mainu's been tackled. It's come back to Bruno Fernandes, who switches the play to the near side and picks out Diogo Dalot. Portuguese player comes in, and Burno's got a bit of space here. Shot's a poor one. He went for the far post to try and fool Pickford, but he scraped it wide. Initially, he had a lot of space. Keane just closed him down sufficiently to produce a hurried effort, which wasn't the best.
They're just doing well, Everton. They're not allowing the wide players to get on the ball and have any control of the game for Manchester. Ahmad has not had an opportunity. Well, he had that one opportunity and he got pulled back.
Yeah,
that's all he's had, an opportunity to run out in the wide position from the right-hand side. And you look at Mbueno, hasn't really been it. Cunha is not going to stay on the left touch line. He's going to be all over the place, but even he can't get into the game.
Well, Wayne Rooney is looking on, and the game is crying out for a player of his quality, really, and directness and goal-scoring ability. Here's Bruno Fernandes finding Casemiro. Back it comes to Harry Maguire. United still inside their own half as Maguire comes forward. They're standing off him at the moment, Maguire. He does like to occasionally get forward. Here's Fernandes. That's a good ball. Shaw with space on the far side. Not a good cross. Tarkowski away for Everton. Comes out to Maguire, heads it forward, but not towards Shaw. It goes out of play, and that's just another classic example of the lack of quality, because Shaw initially had a lot of space, didn't get the cross in quickly enough, and when he did it, it was straight at Tarkowski, who made a pretty straightforward intervention.
But the cross needed to come in early. This didn't need that many touches, and Luke Shaw never does anything early. He just doesn't seem to be able to adjust his body and whip balls in early.
A draw would keep Everton in 8th. They'd be 2 behind Brentford and 7 behind City rivals Liverpool. Now then, here's Dewsbury Hall down the left-hand side for Everton. Only Barry in the box, really, and he can't find him. It's come back instead to Branthwaite. Now, Dewsbury Hall. Header away is by Yoro. Picked up by Idrissa Gueye. Idrissa Gueye was caught late there, but nothing's been given. Oh, it is now. The referee has finally blown up for a free kick to Everton in a central position, but quite a long way from goal, because Idrissa Gueye, one of Everton's 2 Senegalese heroes from the African Cup of Nations, the other one being Ndiaye, both came home with gold medals from that tournament in Morocco, albeit after a very, very controversial final.
Just look at Everton as well, how well they're doing in this game. They're playing with 2 unnatural fullbacks.
Yes, they are.
One's a central midfield player all day long. The other one is an out-and-out centre half.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he pulled Ahmad back. I mean, Ahmad probably hasn't tested him enough, has he?
No. But then that's down to Everton not allowing him those opportunities to go and do it.
James Garner looks as if he might have a crack at goal. Here he does! but it was so far away that Lamens was able to just catch it pretty easily. Initially that looked like a good strike, but really from that distance it's well nigh impossible, I would have thought, to beat the goalkeeper, and Lamens made a pretty straightforward save. It counts as an effort on target, I guess, of which Everton have not had many. Yoro clears for United. It's not a good ball. Shaw has to scamper back and find Maguire, who hoofs it forward towards Fernandes, who doesn't get a proper touch, and United have had 6 attempts and 2 on target. Everton have had 2, and that one from Garner is their only on-target effort of the game so far. And really, I mean, it's a bit generous to call it an effort on target because the goalkeeper just caught it. 6 minutes to go to half-time, so it's gone a bit quiet again now. As a hush descends, really. It's not been one for the purists, this one.
The thing that's kept it alive, really, is the noise of the fans.
Yeah.
That's the thing at United now, cannot afford to concede, because that would just lift the players. The fans would let them know exactly where they are. They're on the other side of Liverpool, and the other side of Liverpool at this moment in time hates them as much as what the other side does.
Yeah, I mean, if Everton score, you'd be fearful as a Manchester United fan that they'd shut up shop like they did at Old Trafford. So, you know, if they could do it there with 10, they might well be able to do it here with 11. Of course, assuming everyone stays on.
Yeah, they've done it so easy with that 10 at Old Trafford.
That was a different United. That was one of the low points of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the low point.
Dewsbury Hall's going to take the free kick right on the touchline. Or is he? Maybe it's going to be Garner. It is in fact Garner. It's a useful looking ball. Keane is up there, but he can't get the header in, and it squirts away to the near side, where Mbermo picks it up, tries to get past Branthwaite, not able to. Nice turn by Gay, and then it goes back to Tim Iregbunam, who's making his 50th Premier League appearance today for Everton. Local boy. Long ball forward, header away by Diogo Dalot. The drop for Dewsbury Hall. United have won it back, and Ahmad suddenly senses he might be on the front. That's a terrible ball, it really is. I mean, that was nothing more than routine, and he was on the front foot. Fernandes had made the run. I'm struggling to work out how a player of Premier League quality could fail to complete that pass.
Well, he's gone for the outside of his left foot. It should have been really his right foot to play it down the side. That's where the space was, and he's gone to keep it as tight as possible to the fullback, and he's made it easy for him just to clear it.
Here's Casemiro, he's hoisted it up in the air. Bruno Fernandes is underneath it, so too is Tarkowski, who wins the header. It's flicked on by Harrison Armstrong. And United give it away again, but then immediately win it back and then lose it again. Dewsbury Hall trying to find Njai, tussling with Shaw. He's got away from Shaw, but he's heading away towards the right-hand side. Down the line he goes towards Garner. It's blocked, and it'll be an Everton corner, which I think is their first of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that
might even be the first of the game.
Yeah, that's come about because James Garner's made that foray forward, which caused a problem there. It's a big problem. Ndiaye up against Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, you see, is flapping at his shirt all the time. Doesn't like running back towards his own goal, Luke Shaw. Not the best defensively, 1-against-1.
Well, it is the game's first corner for either side. So Lamens, who hasn't really been tested at all, may be tested here. Garner is decent from these sort of... In fact, it's Dewsbury Hall, I should say, who's going to take it. It's going to be an in-swinger. Lamens is underneath. It's not the best punch, but it's landed at the feet of Cunha, who drives it forward. Iregbunam volleys it back and does really well to find Dewsbury Hall, who equally does well. And so too does Cunha, who slides in to make the challenge.
Is that more luck than judgment there with the way he got away there, Dewsbury Hall?
Well, given the benefit of the doubt, he's trying to create something at least, but his deflected crossfield ball has fallen into the path of Casemiro, who's coming forward. That's a useful ball towards him. Burmo, useful in intent, but again, not good enough. And, you know, Casemiro, OK, he's recently turned 34. In fact, his birthday today, Casemiro. Congratulations to him on that landmark, but when a player of his undoubted quality fails to produce a routine pass, it begins to seem like a bit of a malaise, doesn't it?
It certainly does. I thought he was on there. He's worked so hard in Bueno from his own half to go to make that run.
Here's Maguire. He's knocked it forward. I mean, Tarkowski against Amad Diallo in the air is only going to finish one way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's Casemiro again. Over towards the far side where it's picked up by Cunha, who does well, sprints away, great tackle, really good tackle by James Garner, who, as you mentioned, is not a fullback, but that was excellent fullback play, wasn't it?
That was a proper tackle.
Yes, it was.
I absolutely love that tackle.
What we used to call a crunching tackle.
Absolutely love it.
Perfectly fair.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, it was a good one, yeah. Fans love that kind of stuff, don't they? They still do, fans. They get very excited up. I was at the derby yesterday, and the Tottenham fans were absolutely loving some of the early challenges that went in. They didn't love the rest of the game as much. Anyway, we're in the last minute of a rather ragged opening half so far, which has been short on chances and scrappy and error strewn.
I'll tell you what's got really, some of these referees during the summer have to be taken away and just work with a lot of current players, just people who are playing, to get to understand about fouls and contacts.
Yeah.
So I seem to have lost that.
My worry about referees is that VAR
has made them lazy.
Has taken away the referee's natural sort of instinct and common sense, because they're always thinking, well, we've got something to fall back on, whereas in the past, they make a decision and stick to it. Usually they'd be right, let's face it. They get a lot of stick referees, but 90% of the time they're making the right decisions. So 3 minutes to be added on at the end of a fairly indistinguished or undistinguished first half, I would say.
Just the amount of time you try to think of what to say then. The best way to describe it. I just want to see two players go against each other and both want to stay on their feet and have a tussle.
Bruno Fernandes with a free kick all the way over towards Amad. The fans are complaining about something or other. Amad still has it. It's hit by Bruno Fernandes. It goes over the bar. He's claiming there was a deflection. I don't think there was. He's having a right go at Darren England.
I'll tell you what they were moaning about. Harry Maguire has blocked Branthwaite. Right. He's blocked him and not allowed him the opportunity to follow the ball and get closer to Amad. It's a block-off. Yeah. You can't do that. And they're allowing them to get away with it nowadays.
Let's have a look. We'll get a good view of it here.
Look.
Well, he's run into...
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
You can't... That's what they're allowing them to do now.
That's what they were unhappy about.
Yeah, and Branthwaite would do exactly the same. It's a thing that they've been coached now.
Yeah, but we see it at Arsenal, don't we, with these corners that everyone talks about.
We are turning.
There's a lot of blocking off going. It's like American football.
It's NFL.
Yeah,
absolutely NFL. Yeah. It's gone that way. It's absolute garbage.
Paul Parker, never short of an opinion. Almost half-time here.
And I'm always right, by the way. Have I said that as well?
Goes without saying.
Right, thank you, John.
I've never ever once disagreed with anything you've ever said.
You just stopped talking to me.
Well, I think the half-time pints and pies will be quite welcome, because it hasn't been a great game.
I think they've gone already, a lot of them.
Yeah, they might have done, to avoid the queues.
Not in this stadium now, not like Goodison.
Well, I mean, I was at the London Stadium as a fan. I'm not often at grounds as a fan other than Vicarage Road. And, the standard of the catering and everything is so much better than it used to be, isn't it? And, Tottenham, they've got these pints of beer that fill from the bottom and there's a vacuum. I don't know how it works. It seems impossible. They put the pint down and it fills up from the bottom through the glass. And then you pick up the glass. You think, well, there must be a hole in it.
The thing is, though, it just happens on a few occasions you go there, and I've been there quite a few times since I've opened it.
Yeah.
And you see the people doing their smile, and you see someone look at it and go, wow. And what they do is they push the thing on the bottom, and you just think it'll sink like that. And you kind of go, you fool.
That's silly.
Why are you doing that for?
It didn't happen by magic. There must be some... Well, that serves them right. They get soaked and waste a pint. They're not cheap either, are they?
They're not cheap.
£6.40, I think, for a pint of beer. Anyway, half-time here. It's not been the best game that either of us have seen this season. It's 0-0. It's been ragged. There's been a lot of errors. There's been very little creativity. And in truth, very few goal-mouth incidents. James Tarkowski had to clear off the line from Ahmad after a mistake by Pickford in the first minute. Everton have created little or nothing. One harmless James Garner free kick straight into Slamon's gloves, and at half-time, in a disappointing game, it's Everton 0, Manchester United 0 on Premier League Live.
TalkSport Podcast League. Outspoken, the best of White and Jordan.
Now available in one unmissable daily podcast.
He's going to be in charge for a considerable period of time.
It's a load of old pony.
The final word on the final scores with Jim Mighty White.
I really mean this with sincerity.
And Simon the Saint Jordan.
What on earth have you got?
I think I look like the Saint. I think it's a Simon Temple outlook. I expected to hear the
Outspoken, out now.
Listen or download for free from your favourite podcast portal.
Kick it! TalkSport Superstar Breakfast.
You wake up late for work, man. You
out of today's blockbusting lineup in midfield, it's Anthony Flash Gordon.
Get heroic coverage of every epic clash.
Morgan Buck Rogers.
On the radio station that knows, with great power comes great responsibility.
And Martin Odegaardians of the Galaxy.
Well, these are the nights when heroes are made, where history will be written.
Also, Kyle Skywalker.
Magnificent counter-attack.
And Tyrone Mings the Merciless.
Supporters assemble! Captain's goal!
Talk Sport!
Welcome back. Everton 0, Manchester United 0. In truth, it hasn't been great. As Fernandes finds Cunha. Cunha drives forward and still has it. He's maintained possession. It's Bruno Fernandes against away towards Burma, who cushions the ball in. Dalot's there, and Cunha's there, and he missed kicks, and Ahmad's there, and it's scrambled off the line by Tarkowski after Pickford got a glove to it. Dalot hits it. Oh my goodness me, that was travelling, but it was travelling past Jordan Pickford's left-hand post, but he caught it pretty well on the volley, 25 yards out, and that's just about the nearest we've come to a goal. Yeah, that's one of the shortest highlights packages we've had this season, I think, Paul. And I mean, it's difficult to analyse that game other than to question why perhaps both sides have been so incapable of creating anything worthwhile. And they don't even seem to be able to get the ball from one player to another very often.
No, they don't. Both of them are lacking ideas in the final third. The actual what's happening around the boxes has been very poor creativity wise. There's nothing around, there's nothing off the cuff, there's nothing happening. Bruno's running around, he's trying to dictate and trying to lead, but he's been awful.
Yeah.
He has been poor. There's been no one out there from the back they're poor. The two in the middle look very poor when possession of the ball. Defensively, it's on edge. Yoro looks like somebody who hasn't played for a while. He's all over the place. He's not taking responsibility. The goalkeeper started off by hitting the player with the ball.
After 10 seconds.
After that happening, it's too much. It's a side that look ring rusty.
Yeah. I mean, you said it, I think, in the first half. The one person who might not wind all this is David Moyes, because they've stopped United playing, which I suppose is the first part of the jigsaw, and then they need to find the second piece, which is to try and nick a goal from somewhere. But to be fair, Everton haven't looked like scoring remotely, have they?
No, they haven't. Everton haven't looked nowhere near it. I think he's going to have to make a change up front. I mean, since he got that injury, the centre forward Barry, he's hardly touched the ball. He hasn't threatened. He hasn't tried to do anything. So he's got in his head at the moment in time his shoulder. I don't see how you can start someone like that when you've got a shoulder problem. Well, everything starts with that, doesn't it? Your first movement is to pull your arm back to run, or to jump. You pull your arm up to get the leverage. So it's wrong to be playing him. And you got Beto on the side there. Even if just get him on there, just to add a little bit of muscle, a little bit of strength, just to cause the back two a problem, because the back two are playing on the edge for Manchester United.
I mean, you mentioned Fernandes, who's been poor. I mean, Ahmad hasn't been great, but Burma and Cunha haven't really got into it. Is there a case maybe for sort of Michael Carrick to maybe change it around a bit and bring on Šeško, who's more of a target man, and just change it, or is that going to make any difference? Because, I mean, I think sooner rather than later, if this goes on, Carrick's going to think, I mean, because one of the things, as well as bringing success back to the club, he wants United playing in the way that United fans expect them to, and this hasn't been it, has it?
No, it hasn't been it, and that may be a good shout to do that. It's about who he's going to take off. The only one who's actually had a bit of bite about him in that front three has been Cunha.
Yes.
And Cunha's been the one to make way all the time, so it's going to be a big decision if he decides to do that, because he's the one. He's the one who's been standing out. He's not as gifted technically as the other two. No. But he's the one who's been running at the moment.
He's more direct, isn't he?
But he's the one that I would stick with at this moment in a game like this. Because the other two, you're not sure what you're going to get from them at the moment up front. They have been poor. Casemiro is trying, but he's not been right. Kobe Mainoo has been well off of it, been caught in possession far too often. There's no movement off the ball. And the midfield is struggling because of what's happening in the centre of defence. Luke Shaw has not been in possession enough in the opposition half to be able to do anything. Wonderful left foot, can't use it quick enough. His body, everything about him, he's not sharp enough when the ball comes into him to manipulate it to make runs. So how are the wide players going to get into the game if the full-backs are not helping them to create space?
And from Everton's point of view, it's been bits and pieces for them, really. I mean, the one player who you would expect who might be able to light the fuse for them is Iliman Ndiaye, but even he has had a fairly subdued game, hasn't he? I think Dewsbury Hall on occasions has looked threatening, but really, as a package, Everton don't look like a team who are going to find a goal from anywhere.
No, they're not. But Ndiaye, I think, as much as he's a good player, maybe the best technical player on the pitch, what I think we have to say is that he needs a bit of help in this moment in time. Yeah. And if there was someone to join in with him, there could be a problem. You get him 1-on-1 with Luke Shaw at the ball at his feet and a bit of grass behind. There's a big problem for Luke Shaw. What is he going to do next? So, if you look at everything, you are looking at Everton at the moment. The onus is on them now as a home side to take it to that next side, that next level, I should say, while Manchester United at the moment have got to be better than what they are. They're the ones with the more capable players, but they're not performing as individuals or as a unit.
No, they're really not. We look at the bench that David Moyes has at his disposal. You mentioned Dwight McNeil, who is a talented player. Other than that, Tyler Dibling's become a bit of an enigma, and clearly Moyes isn't a huge fan of his at the moment. Tyreek George, who's come from Chelsea, is another potentially attacking player. He's on loan from Stamford Bridge. Other than that, it's fairly routine, their bench, isn't it? It's the likes of Seamus Coleman, Nathan Patterson, and Vitaly Mikalenko, who are all good players but aren't going to affect the game too much.
Yeah, that's the thing about where do where do you go next? What do you do, Everton, to trying to turn yourself into with this tape with the squad at the moment and what they've got on the bench to try and score a goal? They've got to maybe looking for a mistake somewhere, but it definitely needs something from them, which is going to take a lot for them to go and score a goal. Maybe a mistake at the moment is going to affect.
There's been plenty of those, but I mean, apart from Lamans and Pickford early on, none of the mistakes have been particularly catastrophic, have they? They've been routine passing errors.
Yeah.
But, as you say, you're right, though. I mean, Everton could nick one, and then I think it would be hard for United.
It will be hard for them, because at the moment they're trying to add something. It's not there. I don't know. I mean, we went there earlier. I don't know what Michael Carrick's going to do to try and change it. All he can do is demand a bit more from them, ask a few of them to take responsibility, ask his captain to be a captain.
Yeah.
And don't look after himself and try and lead himself. Ask him to lead a team, and there might be a chance that Manchester United might get something from it.
Well, we'll see. We're coming back with the second half in just a moment on Premier League Live.
TalkSport Podcast League. Outspoken, the best of White and Jordan.
Radio's sharpest sports debate, triple distilled into one unmissable daily download.
How much of a game changer is this going to be?
White versus Jordan, now with added time.
We want to see a proper fight.
A sublime strike partnership of White
Give us your gut feeling.
and Shade.
Players aren't good enough, coach isn't good enough, board isn't good enough.
Outspoken.
Now that's hard, isn't it? That's harsh.
Out now.
You can only be offended if you choose to be.
Listen or download for free from your favourite podcast portal.
Presenting TalkSport's Masters of On Air, the breakfast show that wings it every morning.
Starring Wing Commander Flaps McCoist, Navigator Jeff Scrambles Delling,
Mid-gunner Gabby Agbom Lahore, wireless operator Alan Bone Dome Brazil,
it's 6 Beer Squadron,
and tail end Charlie Ray Party Parlor.
Oh yeah.
The Superstars Super Fortress Breakfast chalks away.
Monday morning from 6 o'clock on TalkSport.
TalkSport app. Yeah, it's the TalkSport app. Swipe left for TalkSport 2.
Und get Gridiron Grinding Full Match Commentary of the großes NFL Showdown.
Swipe right for TalkSport.
Mit all the build-up und excitable live and exclusive Full Match Commentary of the Premier League. Alles klar?
Give your phone
The finger.
the TalkSport app. What are you waiting for? Download it from your app store now. TalkSport Drive. Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
TalkSport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
All-terrain sports radio for a power-hungry nation.
The national radio show with a bootload of sport.
Unrivaled, opinionated comment from the biggest names in sport and Andy Goldstein.
Mirror, signal, move over for TalkSport Drive.
With Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
Week in the Tackle with Tom Rennie and Brian Dunseth, a weekly podcast where we tackle the top stories from the world of football.
We'll be discussing the world of soccer, covering the Premier League, Champions League, Major League Soccer, and jump aboard the hype train to the World Cup. If anyone can get me a ticket to the World Cup final, it's the voice of American soccer, Brian Dunseth.
Rennie keeps slathering me up in that kind of butter, and I might be able to hook you up. See you in New Jersey.
Week in the Tackle is available from wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe today so you don't miss a single episode.
Trans-Euro Express. Sunday night from 9 on TalkSport.
The weekly international football transmission. From Paris to Panathinaikos, from Oslo to Olympiacos, radio's most established European football show, Trans-Euro Express.
TalkSport's big European adventure. Sunday night from 9 on TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Everton against Manchester United from the Hill Dickinson Stadium. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Manchester United and England defender, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Everton are in the tunnel, trotting out now to face a second half where I think both managers will be looking for a big improvement respectively, because neither side has covered themselves with any great amount of glory so far. It's been a bitty, scrappy affair in this superb stadium under the lights. Michael Carrick was held by West Ham in his last game, and being held again in this one. It looks like he's made it. Has he made it? I don't know if he is going to make a change. Sesko, he's back in his seat, so there are no changes for Manchester United. We thought that might be something that could happen. It may well do in due course, but nothing as yet. David Moyes in his 745th Premier League game, second only or third only to Messrs Ferguson and Wenger. Incredible career, really. Second spell at Everton, of course it was hugely successful first spell. No trophies, but when Moyes was here first time around, they were the sort of team that would expect to get into Europe rather than hope. There are no changes for either side in this second half. Everton in blue and white, Manchester United in red and black. Here's James Garner finding Iliman Ndiaye, who's wriggled away from his man. It's Ndiaye cutting it back. It's Dewsbury Hall. It's a chance for Everton, and it's a shot by Harrison Armstrong, which is grabbed by Senna Lamens. And that was much better from Everton. That's probably the best move of the game. Nice play by Dewsbury Hall. Didn't quite get enough on it, Armstrong.
No, he didn't, to be honest, really. He's hit it tentatively, and you have to say that is the best passage of play in the game. You are right there, John, absolutely. And they've started really, really good, by the way. David Moyes has said something to them, and it's definitely gotten going. They are closing down higher up the park as well.
Well, Harrison Armstrong's a local boy, joined the club age 5. He's never scored for Everton, but he tested Lamens early on. Other than catching, and no more than catching, a James Garner free kick. That's the most work that Lamens has had to do. Here's Yoro finding Maguire, who belts it forward on the half volley, and Burmo chases. Tarkowski's in the way, and it'll drop for Bruno Fernandes on halfway. Tries to find Cunha, who's robbed by Ndiaye. Everton making the better start to this second half. Tierno Barry finding Idrissa Gueye, who almost stumbles over but regains his footing, manages to find Armstrong. Armstrong trying to take on Dalot, and cutting it back to Dewsbury Hall again. Dewsbury Hall is probably Everton's most lively player in the first half. He has it again. He curls it into the box. It's a header away by Shaw, and it'll drop at the feet of Garner, or rather head of Garner, who finds Ndiaye. Garner again infield to Eric Burnham, who shoots, still looking for his first ever Everton goal on his 50th Premier League appearance. Here's Harrison Armstrong finding Jared Branthwaite. You can hear the Everton fans' reaction to this positive start to the second half. Can they find a goal from it? Here's Branthwaite again. Gay, that's a lovely ball. Armstrong once more, and now Barry, but he's dispossessed on the edge of the box, and Shaw will hoof it forward. But the pattern of the second half so far is Everton trying to play football and United just hoofing whenever they get the opportunity.
Well, that's what it seems at the moment. Everton have definitely come out looking to make a difference early on and really get at this Manchester United back four straight away.
Good ball by Eric Burnham to pick out Garner down the right-hand side. Garner slides it in. Maguire is there. The quality of the crossing from wide positions from both teams. Oh, it's been given.
That's poor.
I was going to say the quality of crossing from both teams has been poor, very poor.
It has been
so far.
I've
struggled to think of one decent cross.
But so is the decision making on what is a foul and what's not a foul.
Yes, that was harsh.
You know, someone touches you like that in the street, you don't fall over. It just doesn't happen. And he's telling him,
Garner's
James Garner as well.
Shaw,
Yeah, that was cheap and weak by Luke Shaw.
They were teammates. They would have been, because Shaw's been at Manchester United for such a long time. He's probably there while Garner was there.
Well, I think he's seen off 6 different people up top, isn't he? Normally those people are seen as Jonas, isn't they? If he was on the boat, they'll throw him off.
David Moyes looking on, no doubt pleased with what he's seen from the opening 4 minutes of the second period here. Casemiro heads it forward, and Burmo's beaten in the air. Casemiro again. Burmo chases, but Tarkowski should get there first, and in the end does a reasonable job of clearing it. And now it's Garner back to Tarkowski again. Longer clearance this time from James Tarkowski, and now it's Dewsbury Hall. Striding forward, the number 22 for Everton plays. Oh, it's a disappointing ball again. Nobody's produced a final ball of any note, have they?
No, I think there's a little bit of, seems like a lot of water, and it seems a little bit damp, the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it was raining heavily around kick-off time. Here's Casemiro, dispossessed by Michael Keane, but won back by Manchester United. Here's Dalot. Fernandes wants the ball and receives it from Dalot and then plays it forward to him again. Dalot just about finds Ahmed, but Ahmed had to check his run. Here's Fernandes. Back it goes to Diogo Dalot again. Now it's Casemiro. Fernandes is over on the far side, plays a diagonal ball forward, sliding challenge to intercept by Everton, but United have won it again with Kobbie Mainoo into the box. There's Mbeumo! And he's fired over the bar from an inviting position, a tight angle, but he was no more than 2 or 3 yards out, and with his left foot he has hoisted the ball over the bar. And for a player of his quality, you have to say that is a good chance missed.
Well, he knew exactly where he was, and he's just gone for sheer power. If he had a miskicked that, I think it would have trickled past Pickford, but he's gone for power because Pickford's throwing himself.
Yeah.
He could even have actually faked it and just actually touched it onto his right foot.
Yeah.
There's me saying it, the great goal scorer, by the way. But you know what I'm getting at, by the way. They're always better after the event, I am.
Well, absolutely. But, I mean, Mbeumo is a striker, and you would expect better, to be fair. He's got 3 in his last 5 games. Funnily enough, he's never scored in 9 games against Everton in his career. That's the most against any other club that he's not managed to find the net, and it's just continued there. And to be honest, if he had scored, it would have been against the run of play in the second half.
Totally.
But it'll give United some kind of encouragement that they've produced an effort of some description. Here's Yoro, who is in for the injured Lisandro Martinez. That's a good inviting ball by Casemiro, and Dalot's onto it, but he's been tracked by Branthwaite. He's kept possession, Dalot. He's found Ahmad back to Casemiro, who fires it in. I'm not quite sure what that was, whether that was a cross or a shot or a pass. It didn't turn out to be either, really, because it was nowhere near the goal, and it was hit with too much power for Fernandes to control it. Here's Yoro. Back it goes to Lamens, the Manchester United goalkeeper. He's only kept 2 clean sheets in his last 9 games. That's in all competitions. That's a foul by Garner on Cunha. It'll be a free kick to Manchester United. Darren England, the referee, signals that. 7 minutes played, second half, still goalless. Still fairly resolutely goalless as United get the ball forward, and it's controlled by Cunha. Cunha trying to get the better of Garner, but great play by Tarkowski. Tarkowski's played pretty well today, hasn't he?
Normally, I think Tarkowski, if he's having a bad game, he's 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh, that's a decent ball infield. Here's Dewsbury Hall, who's dispossessed by Ahmad, and United come back with Kobbie Mainoo. Here's Bruno Fernandes. The first half started in promising fashion, with both teams showing a lot of purpose, and the second half's been not quite as frantic, but slightly more encouraging in terms of entertainment, which has been at a premium tonight. Here's Mbeumo losing the ball, and back it goes to Jordan Pickford, who, like Lamens, has really had little or nothing to do. He had one scare in the opening couple of minutes when the ball went under his grasp and Tarkowski cleared it off the line. But other than that, it's been a pretty straightforward night for both goalkeepers. Here's Mainoo, plays a 1-2 with Fernandes, brings Casemiro into play. He's got Dalot on the right-hand side. Dalot to Fernandes. Fernandes cuts it back, and he didn't look, did he? He just played it, and it's intercepted easily by Idrissa Gueye. Here's Eric Burnham. Fernandes trying to make up for that error with a bit of industrious chasing, but Everton have got the ball forward, and it's come to Lenny Yoro on halfway for Manchester United. Here's Kobbie Mainoo finding Casemiro, chips it forward. That's a good ball. Here's Dalot. This is a chance. And he might have had a shot from the angle. Instead, he tried to cut it back to Ahmad, and it didn't reach its intended target. But it's United fans now who are beginning to sense a little bit of encouragement. Here's Ahmad finding Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo to Casemiro. Casemiro clips it into the box, and Burmo's there, and his header is weak and wide.
I mean, we've got an issue there with Cunha's not happy with Mbeumo there for not leaving that header at the end, because he just wasn't going to get enough on it, to be honest. But we've seen a Dalot the opportunity, and Pickford had virtually said, cross it to me, because he steps out, he steps away from his near post. Dalot should have gone for goal there.
Could have driven it low and hard.
His mindset already. I'm going to pull this back. Find one player among 3 Everton defenders.
He has just got the 1 goal this season, Diogo Dalot. That was in a 1-1 draw against West Ham in December. Oh, that's a mistake by Dalot, and Armstrong finds Dewsbury Hall, and dear, oh dear, that's the worst of a litany of very bad crosses tonight. I mean, Dewsbury Hall had quite a lot of time on the left-hand side, and with his left foot, he's hoisted it about 10 rows back behind the goal.
Yeah, he is better than that.
He absolutely is, yeah, I agree.
100% better than that.
Long ball forward by Lamans, and Burmo chasing, can't get a touch. Tarkowski will tidy up. In fact, he'll leave it for now then. What's happened there? And Burmo's gone down holding his face. Pickford came out to gather. The referee is striding forward to where this incident took place. I don't think for 1 minute that Burmo is badly hurt. I'm not entirely sure what went on there. Basically, Tarkowski left the ball for Pickford. Pickford came out. I'm not sure who made contact with him, Burmo.
He made contact. He's gone in there, and he just Well, and to be honest, Tarkowski is actually just standing his ground, because Mbeumo's coming into him. He doesn't lift his arm up high at all. He's just got his shoulder on.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
I agree.
Nothing there at all. He's
just as a defender, he should put himself between the ball and the man.
All day
Burmo's charged into him,
and he doesn't catch him in the face either.
And Burmo is now smiling. What I would say about Burmo, he's not the sort of player who generally sort of fakes injury and makes a fuss. But anyway, it's all something about nothing. We are going to see Benjamin Šeško, and there are only 57 minutes on the clock. So United, as we were discussing at half-time, have gone for that change. They will do. Here's Ahmad trying to get round his man. He's done well to get past Dewsbury Hall, but Dewsbury Hall covering back does just as well to make sure that Ahmad has no opportunity to get forward. He's got a rip down the front of his shirt, Ahmad. I'm not quite sure how that happened. He's gone for a sort of V-neck look.
Big V-neck.
Well, Šeško is coming on for Manchester United, and it is Ahmad who he's going to replace. So that'll presumably mean that Šeško will come in as a routine centre forward, and Burmo will switch to the right-hand side. Cunha on the left, and Fernandes in the middle. Maybe
more narrow than what Ahmad would be, and then really that's where he made his name at Brentford, coming off that right-hand side.
Well, Benjamin Šeško, of course, got that late goal against West Ham, which continued a reasonable run for him, 5 in 6, but prior to that he had 0 in 9. There are parallels, I think, maybe in terms of goal-scoring return with Victor Gyökeres at Arsenal, where the jury was out, but he's beginning to look like a Premier League striker. Got a couple against Tottenham yesterday, both really well taken. I wonder whether Šeško might develop in the same way.
But he's had more minutes than Šeško.
True.
He's had more starts than Šeško as well.
Yeah.
And be honest, he's had lots of criticism as well from his own fans. I mean, at the moment they love him this week. Anything could happen next week, and it all goes back to normal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I mean, if he puts a run together and nicks a winner here, for example, and and becomes the player that they look to, I mean, to bring on and try and win a game like this. I mean, it was a good goal against West Ham, 95th minute, I think. Here's Iliman Ndiaye for Everton. They're about a minute and a quarter short of an hour. Ball is played forward by Pickford, controlled by Dalot. Gets it away from Armstrong, and then finds Lenny Yoro. Yoro still a comparatively young player, 20 years old, the former Lille player. He's been dispossessed by Dewsbury Hall's sliding challenge, you're waving your arms in the air and looking less than impressed.
That was such an unnecessary pass from Harry Maguire. Totally passed the buck and gave it to a younger player in a bit of trouble.
Yeah. Here's Casemiro. He's managed to find Fernandes. Fernandes toe pokes it away towards the near side. Shaw is there, hoofs it forward. It's collected on halfway by Garner, who in turn finds Tarkowski. Tarkowski drives it forward. Maguire's underneath it. His header falls for Casemiro, and Yoro goes back to Lamens. The Belgian goalkeeper drives it straight down the middle towards Šeško, who was looking to get his first touch. Could be a good battle between Šeško and Keane and Tarkowski. Here's Cunha for Manchester United. Down the left-hand side, finding Bruno Fernandes. He finds Shaw. It'll give the two Everton centre-halves probably something different to think about, with a central striker with a bit more physicality. Here's Casemiro, dinks it over the top. Garner will try and shepherd it out, but he can't afford to do that, so he artfully gets the ball away from his man and drives it forward. It's an aimless ball, and Lamens in his yellow strip will field it and push it out to Lenny Yoro. We've had an hour, fairly undistinguished hour.
I'll tell you what we've had as well. We've had an Everton player I don't think's touched the ball yet, Barry.
Hardly, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It just hasn't been. They just don't utilise him at all.
No, he's ploughing a very lone furrow, isn't he? Here's Lenny Yoro crossing halfway for Manchester United. He's got Dalot further down that flank. He's shadowed by Armstrong. Ball comes back to Casemiro. Square ball to Luke Shaw. Shaw is still midway inside the Everton half. Finds Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo to Casemiro. It's a loose pass, but Mainoo will rescue it, and Maguire will push it forward to the Brazilian. Casemiro, Mainoo again, and now Shaw. United are just knocking the ball between themselves without making any ground at all at the moment. Here's Cunha trying to stretch his legs and get a run. He gets a decent ball into Mbeumo, and Mbeumo falls over on the edge of the penalty area, and the ball harmlessly goes through to Jordan Pickford.
The thing that I watch is the movement of Šeško when he's on and the runs he makes, but no one hits him with the ball early. Now, if Manchester United have watched him play for his side in Germany, they would have seen how many goals he scored and how he scored those goals.
Here's Maguire finding Fernandes. A little bit more purpose about United here, as Fernandes then plays a dreadful ball and gives it straight to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall picks it up again. He's got Eric Burnham for company. He's given it away now to Šeško. Šeško finds Mbeumo. Mbeumo down the right-hand side's got Dalot for company. Mbeumo goes down. Nothing given. Fair challenge by Eric Burnham. And Branthwaite is striding down the left-hand side for Everton. Plays the ball in towards Tierno Barry, who's got a race on to try and keep the ball in, but he's managed to do that, and he's found Iliman Ndiaye. Ndiaye into the box, lays it off. Here's Idrissa Gueye, and he's took too long over the shot, and it's blocked on the edge of the box by Mainoo.
Well, the thing about it, though, their two key players to score goals are involved in setting that whole thing up, and it falls to Gueye, and he's the player you don't expect to shoot and score from the edge of the box.
No, I agree. He's not the most prolific player, who was sent off in the corresponding fixture for slapping his own player. He's got 2 goals this season. Here's Tim Eric Burnham finding Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Now it's Jared Branthwaite, the tall figure on the far side, finds Branthwaite. There's the cross, header away by Shaw. It'll be picked up by Garner, who will look to get it quickly back into the box. Barry can't get a touch. Branthwaite might. Here's Harrison Armstrong. Branthwaite eventually joins in. Here's Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, deflected, and it goes bobbling away. The man who got the winner at Old Trafford just winning a corner for Everton there with a snapshot on the turn.
This whole game is just saying, if a goal does come to it, it's going to be the scruffiest goal ever.
Yeah, it is beginning to look that sort of game. Yeah, scruffy game, scruffy goal. We've seen plenty of those in the past. Dewsbury Hall is striding across. It's only Everton's second corner. Manchester United haven't won a corner for the entire game yet, and we're 64 minutes in. Can Everton make a set piece pay? If they do, it'll make the remainder of the game more interesting, I think, because United would then be committed to try and get one back. Oh dear, there's a scramble going on. Branthwaite's fallen over by the goal line, and the referee is having to have a word with him and Diogo Dalot, who were getting a bit well acquainted there. Dalot wrestling Branthwaite to the ground, but it was all before the kick had been taken, so the ball was dead. We're going to try again. Branthwaite's trying to lift either his teammates or the crowd or both.
I think it's more the crowd, I would say, in today's game. It is the crowd.
The corner is eventually going to come in, we hope.
If you let Brathwaite go on the keeper's just got to run into him. It's a foul.
Here's the cross. Lamans flaps it away, and then it's hit by Gay and blocked by Maguire. Gay for the second time seeing a shot block. That was a better effort from the Senegalese midfield player. Now then, can Everton, who are enjoying a little spell of pressure here, make it pay? Here's Branthwaite, midway inside the United half wide on the left-hand side. Further down it goes to Njai, but he's giving it away to Sesko. Sesko turns away from his man and finds Cunha, and Cunha is driving forward, and United have got a 2-on-1 here potentially. Oh, and Cunha's stumbled over. Well, he can't complain. It was just literally lost his footing. I think, to be fair, he's not claiming a foul, but it's a shame because that was a very, very good opening for United, and Sesko with a nice little slip ball out to Cunha, who was very positive. I mean, we haven't seen enough of that, have we? Players driving forward and try to be creative, and fair play to Sesko. It was nicely a nice little touch by him that led to that opening.
Certainly was, and he was making a good run as well. Once I will say about the pitch, the players are wearing virtually moulded studs on their boots, but the pitch is quite soggy and boggy.
Yeah, it is.
So any quick change, you'll
he'll slither over.
Yeah,
it was a shame for Cunha because he certainly had the chance to drive at the Everton defence. They'd all gone forward. Tarkowski was really the only covering defender, and if Cunha had kept on his feet, he might well have slipped Sesko in. It was just a slip of the standing foot, wasn't it, on the wet surface? So that's come to nothing. Everton meanwhile have a free kick with James Garner just inside the Manchester United half.
See, if that had been back when I was playing, it would have been a metal or nylon studs in there.
Here's the free kick. Header is by James Tarkowski, but it loops into the arms of Senna Lamans. Here's Cunha again on the ball, finding Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, a lovely ball over the top. Cunha is there, but I think Garner's going to shepherd that one out, or has Cunha won a corner? I'm not sure. No, it'll be United's first if he has, but I don't think it is.
It was close.
We're midway through the second half. It's still Everton 0, Manchester United 0, as Everton prepare to make changes. A draw would hoist, it would lift Manchester United into 4th place above Chelsea, who drew at the weekend, and Everton would be in 8th place. Yeah, I think it's Tyreek George who's receiving instructions, the Chelsea loanee for Everton. He's not on yet. The header is away by Lenny Yoro, up towards Benjamin Šeško. Idrissa Gueye wins the header though. Here's Gueye again. He's wearing sort of white tights, isn't he? I don't know if they're called tights. They're sort of lycras. To be fair, he's from Senegal, and it's a wet old night in Mersey. I don't have that much of a problem with it. I remember John Barnes when he came over from, when he was at Watford. He was one of the first to wear gloves.
Yeah.
And he just said, well, look, I'm from Jamaica. That's where I grew up. I don't like the cold, and I don't want to be uncomfortable. And you thought, well, fair enough. I mean, he's got a game of football to play. You never wore gloves, did you?
No.
I asked that expecting the answer no.
Even got a rollicking one time off a manager for wearing a vest under a shirt.
Oh, dear. Yeah. No, you can't have that. And they wear all kinds of things under their shirts now.
Cry.
Anyway, Everton have a corner. 69 minutes gone. Still goalless. And it's beginning to look like a game where one goal might be enough. Can Everton find it here? In comes the corner. It's deep towards Tarkowski, who headed it up and then got a second chance to drill it in. It's a decent cross as well, actually, on the turn. The best cross of the night's been produced by a centre-half.
Yeah,
but Lamens did well in goal to grab it under his crossbar.
He's done absolutely fabulous there. The way he turned, no one was expecting him to do that.
It's a good one, straight to a Barry. You know, had Lamens flapped that, Barry might have been in. As it is, United are trying to counter-attack. Idrissa Gueye with a very good header back to Jordan Pickford, who bowls it out swiftly. There's a bit more urgency about this second half from both teams, I think, than there was in the first. But it continues to be a game that's disappointed, really.
Oh, it's totally disappointed, the game.
It's not been the sort of... I mean, they've had some great battles, these two clubs, down the years. Here's Iliman Ndiaye. It's a good run by him, and he tries to find... Garner, who will hit it, and that's a really good block by Cunha. He's done really well there, Cunha covering.
That's why you like him on that left-hand side, because you don't have to ask him to do a job going the other way as well. Some don't like it. He mostly doesn't enjoy it, but he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
And James Garner was actually shooting it. That wasn't going to be a cross. He had to shoot from there.
Here come Everton again, enjoying a little spell of dominance at the moment. Here's Ndiaye finding Garner once more, and Ndiaye with a nice ball. Here's Idrissa Gueye. He measures his cross. Maguire heads it clear. Šeško cushions it back to Shaw, who finds Cunha. Cunha with a long ball forward. It's a decent ball towards Mbeumo. If Mbeumo can get there first. Šeško's made a brilliant run. Benjamin Šeško scores for Manchester United. 71 played on the counter-attack. It was an incisive break, and Šeško, who got the equaliser late against West Ham, has done it again, and the deadlock is broken. Everton 0, Manchester United 1.
And that was all about what you can get from Cunha. He's the one who started that. It's his sheer energy and his desire just to always get on the ball and try and make something happen. And again, Šeško, what a run that was. I mean, he must have been, 25 yards away from his own goal. Cunha gets the ball. Cunha plays a lovely ball out wide to Mbeumo. He chases in towards the box, and up pops right through the middle on the edge of the box is Šeško, who's made a run from the edge of almost 30 yards from his own box all the way to the edge of the other box and scores almost 2-3 yards away from the penalty spot. You wouldn't expect it to miss from there. I mean, that's what he adds. He adds energy and he adds pace, which United were lacking for a long, long time.
It's his 8th goal of the season. He scored, as we mentioned, against West Ham. He's now got 6 in 7. He's beginning to look like someone who might be a proper Manchester United striker. And one of the things we were talking about, this game could be settled by horrible Scrappy goal, a mistake, or a moment of quality. That was most certainly a moment of quality. Probably the only moment of real quality in the whole game.
It certainly was, and just by the way you're reacting, John, I know it is, because you quite enjoyed that little bit as well.
I thought it was a terrific goal. Yeah. The ball from Cunha was sensational, and Mbeumo's vision, I mean, it was 3 outstanding touches, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Now then, here's Cunha again. He's followed up with a very poor ball, which is given away, but Everton now have to try and up the tempo as they try and get forward. Dewsbury Hall, Yoro's going to cover, and Yoro got a touch there, so he wasn't able to shepherd it out, and he's cannoned it off Diogo Dalot and needlessly conceded a corner. He would have been better off, Yoro, putting his foot through that and sticking it away for a throw.
Oh, exactly right. They've made, he's come off, the young boy's come off, isn't he?
I'm just looking, Armstrong, is it?
Armstrong's off, What
happened while we were eulogising about that goal? But it's a corner to Everton, who will look to strike back quickly. Manchester United will only be 3 points behind Aston Villa if they win this game. In comes the in-swinging corner. Lamens is there, good claim by Manchester United's goalkeeper. Tyreek George has replaced Harrison Armstrong for Everton. Tyreek George, who, as we mentioned, is on loan from Chelsea. 6 goals in 35 games for them, although by no means a regular starter. But he may offer something up front. It's only his 3rd appearance for Everton. He's only actually scored 1 Premier League goal in his career. 16 minutes to go. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. The United fans are singing not victory songs yet, but singing heartily. What is Tiano Barry doing there? He's trying to take the ball away from the goalkeeper. I think he maybe didn't realise it was a... I'm not sure what's going on there. He's been told to get out of the way by the referee because it was a free kick and he's tried to stand. Well, I'm surprised he hasn't been booked actually for that strange one. But anyway, Senna Lammers will deliver the ball forward, right-footed, with United now hoping to protect or even extend a lead.
I think the referee's tried his best not to book anybody in this game, hasn't he? And he normally likes it, the referee.
Yes, he could have booked Branthwaite for a play. Yeah, fair play. The referee's been decent. I mean, we haven't had any reason to mention him very much. Now then, Everton with a probe down the left-hand side by the substitute Tyreek George, who may add a little bit of energy to them. They've got yet another corner. George is 20 years old.
Saw him play on a few occasions at Chelsea, but he was always playing. He didn't look like he was enjoying himself. He was always under pressure, and they kept playing him through the middle.
Yes, this might be a new lease of life.
Yeah, he's a wide left player. Every Chelsea fan said that to me. He's a wide left player, maybe a decent one as well.
This is Everton's 5th corner. Garner with it. Lamans underneath it, punches this time, and Burmo heads away. And Idrissa Gueye will just let it dribble out of play for a throw into Everton midway inside the United half. The referee, though, has halted play because I think, well, Everton are furious because they were about to take a throw. And I think I think he was signalling maybe for he's yellow carded someone.
Jordan, that must be Jordan Pickford.
Quite sure what on earth that is all about. It is Pickford, you're right. Quite sure why. Must have been for something he said, but I'm surprised you could hear what he said from the distance that they were apart. It is Pickford who's been booked. I mean, Everton wanted to take the throw-in quickly, and then the referee stopped play, and it's because Burmo is down with what looks like a leg injury or cramp or something. It looks like he's going to come off. He did create the goal. Well, he made the final pass. I think you'd have to say Cunha. This is the problem with assists. He'll get the assist, but it's Cunha's pass that made the goal.
Yeah, of course, without a doubt.
Anyway, he's going to be, and Burma's going to be placed by Nusayr Mazraoui, the Moroccan, who's going to make his 50th Premier League appearance for Manchester United today. Runner-up, of course, in that AFCON final when Everton's Iliman Ndiaye and Idrissa Gueye were on the opposite side.
What's happening there? Has Mazraoui gone to the right back? And Dalot's gone to right midfield? I would have gone the other way round, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
he's definitely a better forward player than Dalot.
Yes.
Saying that defensively he's better than Dalot.
That ball's going to run away. Is it for another corner? It is. Yes, it was a Manchester United touch last, and Manchester United haven't had a single corner yet, and this will be Everton's 6th. Time is running out a little bit for them. We have a little over 12 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, of which I don't think there'll be a huge amount. I mean, other than a couple of subs, there have been very few stoppages. Garner has gone across once more. He's put the last couple under the crossbar, and Lamans has dealt with them. I mean, there's an absolute posse of players.
Absolutely incredible.
I mean, it's madness. They're literally...
It's like a line-out.
11, 12 players. Now then, who can get a touch? Tarkowski maybe, away by Mazraoui. It clatters back off Michael Keane. It's still in play. Idrissa Gueye controls it and then wraps it off the shins of Šeško, and it's going to be another corner to Everton.
It's just terrible how this is being allowed, this.
It was a real mess, isn't it? Came off Tyreek George, and then Everton win another corner. This one is from the near side, which means it won't be Garner. It's going to be Dewsbury Hall, who's left-footed, to take it. But before he does, Everton are going to bring Beto on, and he's going to replace Tim-Eric Burnham to try and help Everton find an equalising goal, or maybe even an equaliser and a winner in the 9 minutes that remain. Sorry, 11 minutes that remain, I beg your pardon. Here's another corner for United to deal with. They've dealt with the previous 7. There's all sorts of nonsense. Yoro and Tarkowski are like ballroom dancing. It's cleared towards Gay, who completely missed kicks. Comes off the side of his right boot. It's unfortunate for Everton. They've had 3 attempts from the edge of the box, and all 3 have fallen to Idrissa Gay, who is not, and he probably admitted himself, the world's greatest goal scorer. We're looking at United's goal again. That is an absolutely brilliant pass. And I'll tell you what, Sesko has absolutely skinned Tarkowski for pace. Tarkowski was nowhere near him.
He was like he was just on a conveyor belt, wasn't he?
Good finish as well. Let's say. Great finish. Early side football into the corner. Pickford no chance. Fernandez hoisted over the top. Pickford gathers. Last 10 at the Hill Dickinson. United heading for 4th place as it stands. Everton will not be able to improve their position, obviously, unless they can dig something out late on. Here's Dalot, and now Casemiro forward, but straight to Gay. Sesko's nipped in. Here's Michael Keane finding James Garner, both of them former Manchester United players. This is Iliman and Jai. Centre midfield, midway inside the United half. Garner looks to cross, not able to. Wants it on his right, plays it short to Njai. Garner again for Everton. This time he will be able to cross. It's not a good one. It's headed away by Mainu. And Sesko tries to get his way past Branthwaite, and he's unable to do so. Here's Dewsbury Hall for Everton. Manchester United have now scored in 15 successive games since Everton shut them out at Old Trafford. Dewsbury Hall again for Everton. There is time though for them. This is Branthwaite left hand side, but he's lost it. Sesko can't get the ball. It's Dewsbury Hall, it's Branthwaite on the right hand side. It's not a bad looking cross, but Maguire gets his head to it first and scuffs it away. It's picked up by Njai, and now Idrissa Gay. Dewsbury Hall once more. This is Garner. Everton pushing and probing. They've been the better team since they went behind. Maguire though clears that cross. Dewsbury Hall pushes it back to Tarkowski. Now it's Keane who shoots. Oh, it's a good effort as well, and a good save by Lamans. It was hit with power and rising from Michael Keane.
It was a really good
save.
Really good save as well. I have to say is that United have gone in front. Mazraoui coming on has made it obvious now is that United are just sitting back.
They are.
They're just sitting in the box.
It's a dangerous tactic. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I'll be honest,
I like teams who are brave and bold and ruthless.
They'd have been better off bringing on Zirkzee, wouldn't they, to be perfectly honest.
We've got more nonsense from this corner. Lenny Yoro's ended up in the back of the net, pushed there by Tarkowski, as Everton prepared to take yet another corner. Tarkowski's marching away to be spoken to by Darren. In fact, I think it's going to be more. No, it's not Tarkowski, or maybe it is Yoro, and I think they're both going to be booked. Actually think that's good refereeing, because it's gone on too long, hasn't it? Every corner we've had the pair of them tossing each other into the net and onto the ground.
The thing, sorry, John.
I just think it's good refereeing.
But the thing about it, they allow contact in there, but anywhere outside the park,
exactly.
Look at it. Look,
it's still ridiculous, really. In it comes again. It's bumped over the crossbar. Who got the final touch? Beto claims it was a United player. I think that is the verdict that he's got. We'll have a look at it here on the replay. I think it's hit Casemiro and gone over.
See, Tarkowski is totally blocking the goalkeeper to move there. Oh, here we go again. It's absolutely pathetic.
Maguire and Tarkowski. Well, Tarkowski's got to be careful, because he's just been booked for exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but he can't send him off for giving 2 yellows.
He can.
Well, he can, I know. Yeah, but it's just madness.
Well, it is.
All right, John, you got that one right. Okay.
Well, I suppose it's a semantic issue of whether he can means will he, or can he, as in, is it in his power? It is a bit silly though, isn't it? I mean, every corner, and how many is it, 9 now? Almost every single one, there's been this sort of ballet on the goal line. Just over 5 minutes left. Yoro and Tarkowski are still tussling with each other. In comes the corner once more. It's a dangerous one. It's flapped away, and Mazraoui will hook it forward. But Everton will try and come again. Lamon's punches haven't always been particularly sort of easy on the eye, but they've been largely effective as the ball is pumped forward aimlessly by Everton, and Lamons, as goalkeepers do, will gather the ball before falling to the ground unnecessarily in order to eat up a few minutes. He's gone long with the clearance. We're into the last 5. Manchester United heading for their 5th win in 6 under Michael Carrick. It would be 16 points from a possible 18. It will be 10 games undefeated for United, 6 wins and 4 draws, if indeed it is a win, and it isn't yet. Here's Mainu finding Casemiro. It will be if United can find another goal. Casemiro sees his ball intercepted by Keane, and now Gay is driving forward, and the Everton fans urging their side to try and get an equaliser, as they probably deserve on the balance of play, to be fair. Here's Njai, poor cross, and Lamons will be very, very happy indeed to grab that one very comfortably as the clock ticks past another minute. And again, the Manchester United goalkeeper goes high and long. So Branthwaite's underneath it this time. Cunha takes it down on his chest neatly and drives away and wins a throw. I think that's good play by Mateus Cunha. It's hard. I tell you what, this is Casemiro's gone over, and nothing's given, and it's a throw into Everton, who have it with Garner on this near side. Cunha's got. I was just going to say, it's a pretty difficult game to pick a man of the match in, isn't it? This one.
I'll leave that to you, John.
Cunha, I would say, possibly. From Everton's point of view, I'd probably say Dewsbury Hall's, but he hasn't really had a massive. Nobody on this pitch has been much more than 7 out of 10, have they?
No, definitely
as
no
an
more
individual
than that.
performance. But anyway,
at the moment in time, I'd imagine they might just go with a goal
Everton
scorer.
have given it away. Yoro has found Fernandes. Fernandes to Mainu. Mainu driving forward and muscled off the ball by Keane. And Everton have to get forward quickly now, which they do. Branthwaite is almost up to halfway. 3 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, which won't be a massive amount, as Branthwaite switches it to Garner on the opposite flank. Garner takes it down neatly. Can Everton find a last gasp equaliser here? It's Njai to Gay, back to Njai again. Shaw is there. Njai just veers it away from him and finds Garner. Garner into the space in front of Michael Keane. Keane in centre midfield, looking for Tyreek George, who's on the ball now and plays a 1-2 with Dewsbury Hall. It's back with George. Here's Keane, and now Garner, and Barry just trying to get the cross in. It's a corner off Luke Shaw.
I have to say, since United have gone in front, the way they've played has been awful. They're not seeing the game out properly, are they?
Not really.
Well, just when Mainu went forward, a lot of players would have seen what's in front of them, realised it, and would have come out and gone wide and started again.
Yeah, he just didn't seem. 10 corners to 0, Everton. That's extraordinary.
Yeah,
that's very rare, especially for a team who are losing 1-0. But here's the latest of them, and it's deep. And it's headed away by Manchester United. Here's Njai, confronted by Casemiro. Idrissa Gueye into the box. The flick header is only as far as Sesko, who hooks it away towards Cunha, who holds it up well, claims he was fouled. That must be a foul, it is. And that's not a sensible foul by Idrissa Gueye. There's only a minute left. And the two are smiling, but If I was David Moyes, I wouldn't be terribly impressed with that from Gay. I mean, Wisey committed a foul there. They need the ball. They don't need to give it away and allow United to drive it upfield, which is surely what they'll do in the final minute of the 90 with, I'm guessing, no more than 4 to be added on. You never know. David Moyes doesn't have a particularly good record against Manchester United, the club he used to manage. He used to manage Michael Carrick as a player, and of course the moment it looks like Carrick is going to get the win over his former boss. Here's Mainu, and now Dalot. Dalot goes round the outside and shoots low. It hits Branthwaite, and Manchester United in the 90th minute have their first corner of the game. I mean, it would be an irony of ironies if after defending 10 corners at one and they score from their first at the other. If they do, it's game over. Bruno Fernandes in front of those Manchester United fans who are chanting his name. He hasn't had a good game, has he?
Oh no, he's been
by
very,
his standards,
very poor.
But a win's a win, they always say.
But I mean, Dalot there got in a great position. Shesko was just standing there. Dalot goes for a hard low cross.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, wake up, just wake up.
Yeah. Dalot is standing by Bruno Fernandes. The two Portuguese players trying to eat up time, which they've done successfully because Iliman Ndiaye has knocked the ball out of play. There are 5 minutes to be added on. I'm not entirely sure where that came from, to be honest, but that seems to be the way these days. It does at least give Everton a bit of time to try and maybe get something back, but the ball's at completely the wrong end of the field for them at the moment. But Bruno's given it away, but he's got it back. It's Bruno Fernandes, it's Kobbie Mainoo, it's come off Ndiaye again, and United have spent 1 minute of the added on time camped by a corner flag. Here's Dalot, and now Mazraoui, and the ball has gone Everton's way. Mazraoui's fouled Keane. That'll be a yellow card for the Moroccan substitute, and a free kick to Everton, who have 3.5 minutes to try and rescue a point from this situation. I mean, the home form is alarming for Everton, isn't it?
Yeah, really.
I mean, you know, this will be their 7th game without a win at home, 2 draws, and it will be 5 defeats. You know, in a new stadium, which they hope would become. I mean, Goodison Park was always a completely different stadium. I mean, this one's state of the art. Goodison was anything but you were close to the pitch. It was a famous old ground. Anyway, Jordan Pickford has come all the way out of his goal to take this free kick, which is only 15 yards inside his own half. Everybody is in front of him as he drives it forward in his lime green kit. Tarkowski's on the edge of the box. Good header by Maguire, and then by Sesko, and Cunha again has oh dear, I was going to say done well to hold it up, but he hasn't. He's lost it, but then so too of Everton. Fernandes plays a wonderful reverse pass. That is a brilliant ball, and Sesko could be in again here. Sesko tries to go round Pickford, not able to. Pickford claws it away. Indecisive from Sesko, really.
Totally.
United still have the ball, and we've had 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Fernandes, muscled off the ball by Dewsbury Hall, then tackling back. The referee will play an advantage here. Tyreek George driving forward for Everton. Tyreek George! Good save by Lamans. Hits it firmly, the substitute, from 20 yards.
He won the ball there, to be fair to him.
It was a decent save by Lamans, who didn't have to move too much, down to his left, and he's clung on. That might well be the last chance of the match, although there are still 2 minutes left to play. Manchester United hanging on to a slender lead here. Tyreek George again, he's been lively since he came on. He's put Mazraoui on his backside and then fallen on his own backside. Utterly comical, that. Bizarre. Anyway, now then, Branthwaite's got it across to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall finds Michael Keane. Keane to Tarkowski. James Tarkowski finds... No. Oof. Is that a foul by Cunha, or is it just strength by Cunha? Well, he was tussling with Garner and he's won the battle, and Cunha's being a bit too vocal, I think, in his face. There's no need for that. He's won the battle. he's won a goal kick. There's no need to abuse your opponent.
No.
And the referee's stepping in here. I'd book him. And now Shaw and Tarkowski are getting involved. And it's all getting a little bit silly. And it's because Matheus Cunha has just, behaved in a rather ridiculous fashion, quite frankly. The referee's telling him to go away. Darren England's had a decent game, I think, to be fair, because he's had a lot to worry about with all this pushing and tussling and messing around. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Cunha celebrating that, but then he gets in his face and starts having a go at him. There's no need for that.
No.
And he's going to be subbed, actually.
Well, I think
probably for his own good, but it doesn't matter because, well, it'll add another minute on, but we're in the 95th minute. And Manchester United, who brought on Aiden Heaven for the remainder of this fixture, the 19-year-old making his 13th appearance of the season. And it's just really a case for Manchester United to see the game out if they can. Casemiro hoists it forward. It's chased by Šeško. He's not going to get there. It comes to Pickford. Bruno Fernandes was booked for something or other in the midst of all of that.
Was that not from the one earlier with Dewsbury Hall?
I've got no idea, to be honest. But, Everton have it. Tyreek George. We're in stoppage time now, and George has hoisted it long. Shaw underneath it, doesn't get a touch. It falls to Iliman Ndiaye. Here's James Garner. This needs to be a good cross, and it looks decent. And, Beto is claiming he had his shirt pulled there. Tarkowski is claiming that it should be a corner, and unfortunately for Everton, the referee doesn't agree with either of those decisions, and I think it's going to be a United goal kick. Not sure. Well, the shirt pulls it.
What is this? No, Tyreek George gets the touch, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. So, Manchester United leading by a goal to nil at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Their first ever visit to this ground. Looks as if it's going to end up in a victory, as Everton's home form continues to be woeful. Lamens will drive it into the Merseyside night sky. There's the whistle, and Manchester United have moved on to 48 points, 3 ahead of Chelsea, who are 5th, and only 3 behind Aston Villa, who not that long ago were being talked as title candidates. This is definitely a revival rather than a honeymoon now under Michael Carrick, who's now won 5 and drawn one of his opening 6 games. A wonderful goal by Benjamin Šeško, who for the second game running is the goal-scoring hero for Manchester United, and this goal has clinched a victory for them. Everton 0, Manchester United 1 on Premier League Live. As Fernandes finds Cunha drives forward and still has it. He's maintained possession. It's Bruno Fernandes against away towards Mbeumo, who cushions a ball in. Dalot's there, and Cunha's there, and he missed kicks, and Ahmad's there, and it's scrambled off the line by Tarkowski after Pickford got a glove to it. Dalot hits it. Oh my goodness me, that was travelling, but it was travelling past Jordan Pickford's left-hand post, but he caught it pretty well on the volley, 25 yards out, and that's just about the nearest we've come to a goal. Here's James Garner finding Iliman Ndiaye, who's wriggled away from his man. It's Ndiaye cutting it back. It's Dewsbury Hall. It's a chance for Everton, and it's a shot by Harrison Armstrong, which is grabbed by Senna Lamens. And that was much better from Everton. That's probably the best move of the game.
And you have to say that is the best passage of play in the game. You are right there, John.
United have won it again with Kobbie Mainoo into the box. There's a Mbeumo! And he's fired over the bar from an inviting position, a tight angle, but he was no more than 2 or 3 yards out. And with his left foot, he has hoisted the ball over the bar.
He's just gone for sheer power. If he had a miskicked that, I think it would have trickled past Pickford.
Šeško cushions it back to Shaw, who finds Cunha with a long ball forward. It's a decent ball towards Mbeumo. If Mbeumo can get there first, Šeško's made a brilliant run. Benjamin Šeško scores for Manchester United. 71 played on the counter-attack. It was an incisive break, and Šeško, who got the equaliser late against West Ham, has done it again, and the deadlock is broken. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. Well, that was a winning goal, and really, in truth, Paul, it was a rare moment of quality in a game which, to be honest, unless you're a Manchester United fan or possibly an Everton fan, is not going to live long in the memory.
No, not at all. I think the only thing we can say that's come consistent, which is consistent in comparison to the last game, was the fact of the scoreline and the performance. Really, they were the two things, because both of the fact of the winning goal by Šeško and the performances in both the last two games have been poor, really poor individually and collectively, and they've done it again. But doesn't matter whatever happens. You look at it. Michael Carrick has got that run going now. United are winning games of football, and they've had to dig deep.
16 points from a possible 18 under his stewardship. That's the best current record in the Premier. They're unbeaten in 10 now. It's it's more than just a kind of flash in the pan, beginner's luck. I think he's beginning to do. I agree with you. Not a good performance, but they found a way to win. West Ham United, not a good performance, but they nicked a point. Šeško scored in both those games. I mean, obviously from a sort of point of view as a purist, you'd say that wasn't a good performance, but United are beginning to put something together now, aren't they?
I mean, that's what it is. It is about putting something together, and where they've been of late, they weren't putting anything together. It was just a rocky road, and the goals they're scoring as well, you just think they weren't scoring goals like that before, because they never had the players with the legs to counter. Like the goal they scored, it was a fantastic counter. They never had the players technically to do it, and the players with the energy levels and the pace to actually get there at the end, to go and maybe just to hit the target, let alone go and score. So it's a major step forward.
Yeah. I mean, I think Everton will be a little bit disappointed that they got nothing out of the game. But on the other hand, they had 10 corners, but really, Lamment's made a couple of routine saves. They didn't at any time, Everton, really look as if they had the quality to produce a moment like the one that United did for the goal.
But that's been Everton all season.
Yeah.
And that was Everton before pre-David Moyes, and it's David Moyes at the moment. He knows that himself. Everton next season, they definitely need at least a centre forward. They need another outlet. They need a midfield player who's capable of making something happen on a more consistent basis. And you are looking at the moment, is Dewsbury Hall your playmaker? You're going to turn around as an Evertonian, you're going to really say, we like him, but he's not really the one. There's more they need to compete, because it's quite, at this moment, when you look at things, how this season's been, it's quite close. The teams are quite there's small margins.
Well, they've missed a trick here, Everton, really, because if they'd have got a win here, 40 points, they'd have been 5 behind Liverpool. I mean, they're now 8 points off 6th, which is a big gap, isn't it, really, in that European battle for places.
Yeah, there is a big gap when you do look at it. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at Europe now, and it's quite diluted now when you look at the quality.
Yeah.
Could Everton go and do themselves justice? I think it would have to be, in my opinion, looking at it, maybe the conference.
Yeah, but I think they could. Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, that just about wraps us up. Manchester United winning by 1-0, 5 wins and a draw under Michael Carrick, who's yet to taste defeat. He's added another potential useful item on his CV. Whether he'll get the job full-time remains to be seen, but certainly it's going well for United. So they're up to 4th on 48 points. They're only 3 behind Aston Villa, and they're 3 above Chelsea. Everton stay in 9th place, but are beginning to drift away from the European places, with their home form continuing to disappoint. My thanks to Paul Parker as ever. My thanks to you for listening. We'll be back with more next weekend on